this class, you'll learn how to build a publicly accessible archive on permanent.org with materials that you can share on other sites such as Collectionaire, Ponga, and social media. I'm Caitlin Jarnigan, and I'm the Member Success Manager here at Permanent. Permanent is a digital preservation platform that makes it possible to preserve your family history for future generations to see. Permanent is backed by a mission-driven cultural heritage nonprofit. With Permanent, you don't have to worry about subscription fees to ensure that your material is preserved. You can get started for free, and you pay a one-time donation fee for storage you need as you go. Here at Permanent, we value control. We want our members to be able to choose the material they make public and those they wish to share privately. That's why we created the Public Archive feature for those memories, family stories, and research that you want to share widely.
Thank you, Caitlin. Today we'll teach you how to build your permanent public archive to share your cherished memories or family's history publicly and with family and friends. Your public archive is a gallery of materials that is publicly available for anyone on the internet to view. You can create a public archive about yourself, a family member, or a subset of your family tree. Friends and family don't need a permanent login to view your public archive, and you can use the publicly accessible links to your files to share your work beyond Permanent. We'll then show you how to use the Share feature on Permanent to display these materials from your public archive outside of Permanent. Some places where our members like to share their materials are Collectionaire, Ponga, and social media. With Collectionaire, you can connect links from your archive to your family tree. And with Ponga, you can connect links from your archive to little details within any photo stored on Ponga. You can even use the share links to post memories on social media sites for your friends and family to see.
Let's get started by creating an account on permanent.org. Joining Permanent is free, and storage costs are a one-time donation of $10 a gigabyte, so you can buy what you need as you need it. Once you've created an account, you can create your first archive. Take a minute to think about who you want your archive to represent. Will you create an archive to save your family memories? Do you want to create a memorial about a family member? Or maybe you want to preserve and share the research you've done about your family tree. Once you decide who your archive represents, you can choose the appropriate archive type and name your archive. In this example today, we'll be creating a family archive to document the photos, letters, and documents we have about a branch of our family tree. When your new archive is created, you'll land in your My Files or private workspace in your new archive. You can see what archive you're in by looking at the archive name and profile picture on the left side of the screen. Your My Files workspace is where you can save your files that you wish to keep private, or where you can work on organizing and describing your files privately before you share them in your public archive. Now you can start building your archive. Think about the person, group, or family that your archive represents. What material do you have that represents them, provides more information about them, or reminds you of fond memories about them? If you don't know where to start, choose 5 photographs or documents about them that you already have on your computer. To upload files to your archive, you can click the Upload button on the right side of your screen. Find and select the files that you wish to upload, and then click Open. This will begin your upload, which you can monitor on the bottom right corner of your screen. Alternatively, you can use the drag and drop feature to upload files to your archive. You can also use this drag and drop feature if you already organized your materials on your computer into folders. Simply locate the folders you wish to upload to Permanent, then click on them and drag them into your archive. The folder and the files inside will begin the upload process. Once you've uploaded some files into your My Files or private workspace, you can organize them just like you would on your computer. Click the New Folder button to create a new folder, and then name it. You can create different folders for different members of your family, for events, or however it makes sense for you to organize your materials. I recommend organizing your files in a way that makes it easier for you to find what you're looking for later. I'll name this folder Scrapbooks, and click Create Folder. You can move files and folders into other folders by selecting the file or multiple files, then clicking the Move button at the top of the screen. click My Files, and then choose the folder where you would like to move the files to. In this case, we'll move this file into Scrapbooks, and click the Move button. You can also click and then drag your files into a folder. Now that you've organized your materials, you can describe them. Adding metadata can provide additional context about your materials, share memories or stories, and help you find what you're looking for. Permanent allows you to add a number of different metadata fields to your files and folders. You can add metadata by clicking a file or folder to highlight it, and then going to the Info tab on the right of your screen. Some of this information may be filled in already based on the file name you had on your computer, or based on metadata embedded in the file, such as the capture date or scan date of your file. Permanent preserves any metadata included in your file and adds some of that metadata to permanent fields where possible. I'm going to add metadata to this photograph, starting with the name. This name was the name of my file on my computer, but I want to give it a more descriptive name in Permanent. If you hover over the field text, you can see that it's editable. I'll click the field, and it'll allow me to change the name. Then click the Save button. You can fill in the rest of the metadata in this tab, or you can edit metadata in full screen view. This allows you to better see the photograph or file that you're adding metadata to. To edit in full screen view, double-click the file to open it. If you hover over the fields with your cursor, you can see that many of the fields are editable. I'm going to add a description of this photograph, and then click the Save button. Make sure to click Save each time you edit, or your changes will not be saved. I can also change the date of this file to the date that it was taken, rather than the date it was uploaded to my computer. I'll select the correct year, 1920, and then the month, April, and then the day, and click Save. You can also enter a location for your files and photographs. Click the location field, then enter an address, a city, a state, or a country. We'll enter Boston. Once you've selected the correct location, click the Save button. This will add the location to your file. The last metadata field is the Tags field. The Tags metadata field allows you to add tags to files or folders. You can use the same tag across your archive to designate a subject, a person, a location, or any other information that helps you find and organize your files. To add a tag, click in the Tag field, and then type in your tag. Then click the Add button. If you wish to add a tag that you've used previously in your archive, it will show up in the drop-down for the Tags field. Click it to add to that file. Or you can click it again to remove the tag from the file. When you're finished adding tags, click the Done button. Now that you've added materials to your archive and organized and described them how you want, it's time to publish them to your public archive. You can publish a file or folder by clicking it to highlight it, and then clicking the Publish button at the top of your workspace. Publishing a file or folder makes a public copy of it in your public workspace, which is where you can manage the files and folders in your public archive. When you publish something, the original copy lives in My Files or your private workspace, and you'll have a second copy in your public workspace. This way, you can add or edit metadata that you may not want visible to the public. If we navigate to the public workspace by clicking on it, you can see that a copy of the file that I just published was created here. I can click on it to edit this public metadata to remove information that I don't want to appear publicly. When we go back to the My Files workspace or your private workspace, the original metadata that I entered has been retained here. You can also publish a file automatically when you upload by uploading it directly to your public workspace. You can drag and drop files into this workspace or use the Upload button to add files. Click to confirm that you'd like to upload to public, and the upload will start. You can also edit your metadata just like you would if you were working in your My Files or private workspace. Now that you've published some files to your public archive, let's go take a look at them. In your public workspace, highlight the file that you wish to view, then click Get Link. You can then copy the link to share somewhere else, or you can click to view the file in your public archive. If you click View on Web, you will be taken to that file in your public archive. Here, you or anyone with the link can view or download the file. If you click the Back button, you can navigate back to the folder that the file is in within your public archive to see other files in that folder. You can also click Public to go back to the landing page of your public archive to see all of the files and folders that you have published and displayed there. One great feature of Permanent is that you don't have to publish everything. You can keep some material private in your My Files workspace and publish other materials that you wish to share broadly in your public archive. For instance, here's a file that I have in my Files or private workspace. When I navigate to my public archive, you can see that that file is not included here. You can also choose to unpublish files if you decide you no longer want them to be public by moving them out of your public workspace or deleting them from your public workspace if you have a copy elsewhere. To move a file, click to highlight it and then click the Move button. To move it out of your public workspace, click My Files, and then click the Move button. This will move the copy of the file from your public workspace to your My Files or private workspace, and therefore unpublish it from your public archive. You can delete a file by choosing the file, and then clicking the Delete button at the top. Click Delete to confirm the deletion. The last part of your public archive is your archive profile. Your archive profile provides additional information, description, and context about the archive you've created. You can fill out your archive profile by clicking on the caret under your archive name, then clicking on Archive Profile. You'll be taken to a new page where you can change the name of your archive, add descriptions about your archive, add additional information about the archive, enter any of your contact information that you wish to share publicly, and add milestones about your archive, which capture any significant event about the person, group, family, or organization that your archive is about. This profile is already partially filled out, so let's fill out the milestones. We'll start by adding a title. Let's add Birth of Daniel Pennington. Then click the Save button. You can also choose a location for your milestone. We'll add Boston. You can also enter a start date and an end date for each of your milestones. For a start date, we'll add 1888, and then the month, October, and then the date, 11. You can also add additional descriptions to your milestones if you wish. You can add as many milestones as you want by clicking the Add Milestone button at the bottom of the screen. Your archive profile is also where you can change your archive's profile picture and banner. To add a profile picture, click the Change Photo button and select a file from your archive. You can change the banner by clicking Change Banner and choosing another photograph from your archive. If you don't already have a picture you'd like to use for your profile picture or banner in your archive, you can return to your archive workspaces and upload them there. Now, if we view the archive profile on the web by clicking View on Web, we can see all of the information we filled out, as well as the new profile picture and banner. Now that you've finished creating your public archive, you're ready to share it with your friends and family. Since your public archive is publicly accessible on the internet, it's easy to grab links and share them across different platforms. To share your public archive, you can copy the URL of the public archive from your browser and use that link wherever you'd like. Make sure you're on the public side of your archive and not your public workspace, or your friends and family will not be able to access the archive from that link. You can also do this with your public profile. Click the button on the right side of the screen that says View Public Profile, and then copy the URL from the browser. Now let's grab a share link for a file or folder within your public archive. First, navigate to your public workspace. Choose the file or folder that you wish to share, then click it to highlight it. At the top of the workspace, click Get Link. In the new window that opens, you can either highlight the URL provided to copy it, or click the Copy Link button to copy the public link to that file or folder. You can now share that link wherever you'd like.
Thank you, Caitlin. That was a highly detailed walkthrough of the incredible features that our amazing engineers work to build and improve on daily. And now we're going to move into being able to connect your permanent archive with other resources out there. So for instance, just a couple of the companies that I really love right now that are sort of up and coming are Collectionaire and Ponga. Not only is their site incredibly beautiful and user-friendly, it connects with Permanent really easily. And so I'm going to walk you through Collectionaire and Ponga and how to connect your archives to their sites. So for Collectionaire, I'm going to walk you through how easy it is to set up a family tree on their site. Their site is extremely beautiful. As you can see, it's very user-friendly. And if you go to collectionaire.com, you'll be able to set up your beautiful family tree. I'm just going to start by setting up a really basic family tree. Right now I'm setting up my profile, so I selected my profile photo. I entered my first and middle name, last name, and went through all of the demographics. I'm skipping some of the personal information for the purposes of this tutorial. And here you go. Now you're at the site where you can start adding your family members. And to protect my family's identity, I'm just going to keep it really basic. But you can create really elaborate family trees on this site. And I've seen them, the CEO's family tree in particular is huge. So I can attest to that. So right now I'm just adding in my family members. As you can see, it's incredibly intuitive, very user-friendly. And in a moment, I'm going to show you how you can add links from your archive to your different individual family members so that you can showcase their photos. Right now, you can go to the timeline, you add the quick links right here, and this is where you're going to go to Permanent, and you're going to pull from any archives, public archives that you have within Permanent. And you can do private archives, but for these purposes, I'm going to show you my Army service and my public Army service archive that I have in Permanent. So I grab the link from Permanent, and this is the Russell Jenkins archive. And then I go back to collectionaire.com, and I'm going to walk you through adding those links. Just go to quick links, create a name for it. You can use whatever you want. I'm doing my Army service photos. There's the link from Permanent. Go and choose an image for that album. Then you can adjust the security measures. And there you go. I've now linked my public Army Service permanent.org archive to myself within Collectionaire. Super fast, super easy, very intuitive. We love Collectionaire. And we also love Ponga, and I'm happy to walk you through setting up an account on Ponga. Very, very easy as well. Select all your information, type it in, and hit sign up. And then you'll be taken to your dashboard automatically. There's another step in here where I've already have this account where you go to upload pictures, then you'll be prompted to create your account and be charged for your account. So here's my favorite Army photo. And I'm just going to really quickly show you how to add a link from Permanent, from your Permanent public archive or any archive within Permanent. And so you go to the square, make a square, then you go down to the comment section, add any content that you want, Right now I'm just explaining what this photo is taken with a 35mm camera with 3200 film. And then I'm going to paste the link from my permanent public archive. There's my archive for my Army service. I'm going to grab the link, head back to Ponga, go back down to the comment and paste the link. Then you can click on the link and it'll take you straight to your archive within Permanent. Super fast, super easy. We love Ponga very much. Here's a little snippet from a webinar I did with them explaining more about this photo. A photo, and what Ponga really represents, is a photo isn't just one thing. A photo has so many stories within the story. And that is something that I really loved about my journey with Ponga and being able to connect Ponga with Permanent on little tidbits. Like, here's some audio that I captured. So if you want to go visit your uncle or your dad or your granddad and you want to capture a story about photos you have inherited that you are saving for them in whatever way.
The kids were the best thing about being in Kosovo for me.
So as you can see, that is just another like mixed media kind of element that you can add to any story that you're trying to tell. For me, that was important, an important piece to what this photo entails.
Thank you, Amberly. Now, let's look at how you can share the link to your public archive on social media and on your phone. Once you've copied the URL to the archive or file that you wish to share, you can paste the URL wherever you're able to share links. Let's see what that looks like on Facebook, Twitter, and a text message on your phone. When sharing your permanent public archive or public files on Facebook, you can paste the link to your public materials directly in the post. The Facebook post will show a preview of the material that you've shared with your Facebook friends. They can follow the link to view the file or browse through your public archive. It's also easy to share your public archive and public files on Twitter. Add the link to your Twitter post, and friends and other Twitter users will be able to see a preview of your file or archive in their feed. You can even share your public archive with your friends and family on your phone via text or message app. Copy and paste the link to your public archive or the file that you wish to share into the text. Your family and friends will be able to open your public archive or public files in their mobile browser.
Thank you so much for stopping by to learn how to create a permanent public archive and how to share it wherever you want. We hope this will help you get started with sharing your family's cherished memories, stories, and history. If you're new to Permanent, you can get started with an account for free by signing up at permanent.org/RootsTech. We provide 1 GB of storage so that you can try Permanent out hassle-free.
If you have any questions about what we've covered today, or any general questions about Permanent or how to get started, you can email us at support@permanent.org. Or check out our knowledge base, where you can find helpful articles and tutorials about how to use Permanent. We'd love to see what you've created.